Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're moving past all the noise, the semiconductor stuff, the latest OpenAI drama, the cloud wars. We really want to cut through that infrastructure hype, the pipes, the wires, and focus on where money is actually flowing right now in the AI application economy.
Yeah, think of this as a direct shortcut for you. We're figuring out what ambitious early-stage startups are really spending their cash on to build, well, the next generation of software.
And we've got fantastic, really tangible source material for this one. We're diving deep into the A16 Zeets and Mercury AI application spending report.
And this isn't web traffic or surveys or clicks. It's real spending, data ACH, credit cards, wires. It's from over 200,000 early-stage startup customers, Mercury users specifically, tracked over 3 months this year, June through August 2025. This is actual purchase power.
That's key, raw purchase power.
And crucially, the list isolates the top 50 AI native application layer companies. We're looking purely at the software layer here.
Right, so not the hyperscalers, not Google Cloud or AWS, not the big GPU providers either.
Exactly. We're looking at the specific tools, the platforms that startups are buying right now.
Okay, so what's the big picture then? What's the main takeaway the data seems to confirm?
What's fascinating, I think, is the underlying structural shift it shows. AI isn't just, giving big companies a little 5% efficiency boost anymore. It's driving the emergence of totally new AI-native companies. And maybe even more importantly, it's fundamentally changing what skills are needed inside a company.
Changing skills how?
Well, the core idea is that these specialized job roles, like being a dedicated creative designer or maybe a specialized coder, they're quickly turning into broadly deployed skills. Skills accessible across the entire company.
Huh. So everyone can kind of be a creator now, or a paralegal, or a developer.
Basically, yeah, thanks to the tools these startups are buying.
Okay, let's unpack that. The first major finding you flagged was this split. Applications boosting general productivity across the whole company, the horizontal tools, versus those targeting specific roles, the vertical ones.
Right. And we see a clear priority among these startups spending the money. Horizontal applications, they slightly dominate the list. About 60% of the companies are horizontal, compared to 40% for the vertical ones.
60%.
So general efficiency, general enablement. That seems to be the first thing these startups are paying for.
Okay, so if 60% are horizontal, who are the leaders? Who's getting that spend?
Well, no big surprise that general LLM assistants are right at the top. OpenAI is comfortably number 1. Anthropic is number 2. And Perplexity, which is really focused on better search and citations, they're at number 12.
And having multiple players right there in the top dozen, that's significant.
Oh, absolutely. It's a critical signal. It suggests the race for that general assistant. It's not necessarily winner takes all. Not yet, anyway. Users are showing they'll pay for different tools based on maybe specific UI tweaks or particular use cases they need.
And it seems like beyond just the basic chat window, the spend is really going towards tools that put the AI right into the workflow.
Yes, exactly. Look at the workspace category. Products where you can use the LLMs right there in the context of your files, your documents, like Notion at number 10, Manus at 33.
So solving that friction of always having to copy something, go to another window, paste it in, ask the question.
Precisely. It removes that step, makes it seamless.
And look, I feel like I'm already talking to 3 different AIs just to schedule and track my own meetings, so it makes perfect sense. That meeting support, the note takers, that's a huge spend category.
It's enormous. It's actually expanding beyond just simple transcription now. You see let's call them classic players. Fixer is up there at number 7, HappyScribe at 36, Otter AI at 41, Read AI at 49.
Fixer number 7, that's high.
Yeah, and Fixer, for instance, it's highly valued because it does things like draft follow-up emails, suggests action items automatically, saves a ton of time. But the real evolution, I think, is with products like Cluely. That's number 26. It doesn't just document the meeting. It gives you real-time, in-meeting feedback. It's kind of like actively coaching the discussion while it's happening.
Wow. Okay. Now here's where it gets really interesting. That pivot the spending data confirms. The report argues that 2 roles, which used to be definitely vertical, specialized, they've basically become horizontal skills now, accessed across the whole company. Those are creative tools and what they call vibe coding.
That's the perfect example of turning a specialist role into a general skill, right? Creative output used to be stuck in marketing, maybe the design department. Now, AI has just blown these creative applications wide open. Everyone can use them, doesn't matter what your job title is.
And it's the biggest category.
Creative tools are, the largest single application category on this entire list. 10 different companies represented.
Okay, so who's capturing that creative spend?
It's pretty diverse, actually. You've got the all-in-one suite, free pick at number 4. That covers stock assets, generation, the whole package. And then audio and voice are clearly a high priority. Look at 11 Labs at number 5.
Number 5, yeah.
And beyond static images, video generation, video editing, very prominent. You've got Descript, Opus Clip, CapCut, all making the top 50. The data really confirms that every startup right now is generating just vast amounts of bespoke creative stuff, whether it's for marketing or just quickly prototyping product features.
And we're even seeing specialized niches making the list, like avatar platforms, Arcads at 47, Tabas at 50.
Right, Arcads for ads, Tabas. It's all about asset generation, but at scale and speed, moving from needing a dedicated video team to just making an API call.
Okay, let's pivot now to the other 40%, the vertical applications. But before we get into names, we need to establish this distinction the report makes, it seems critical, between an augmentor and an agent.
Yeah, this is fundamental. You really need this framework. The basic question is the AI supercharging the human employee, or is it basically replacing the need for that human?
Okay.
Augmentor products, they cut down the repetitive tasks, right?
Yeah.
They let the human focus on higher value work. Substitutes, or agents, they aim to be full-service AI employees, completing entire specialized workflows end-to-end with ideally minimal human input.
So looking at the spending right now, the reality, where are we? Are startups mostly hiring these full AI employees already?
No, not yet. We're still pretty heavily in the augmentor phase. If you look at the list, 12 of the 17 vertical companies focus squarely on supercharging humans, helping you write better code, analyze documents faster, that kind of thing.
Okay, wait. If the data shows only 5 companies are true agents, doesn't that kind of prove the tech just isn't quite there yet? Not mature enough to really replace specialized roles?
That's a fair point. It's definitely still early days for the agentic side. But what's fascinating is that those 5 companies exist at all, and that they do aim to be full-service AI employees. They're the ones signaling the future direction. These are probably the startups that aren't burdened by, legacy systems or long multi-year contracts with human providers. They're using their cash to essentially hire AI instead of certain human specialists.
Right. Okay, so if I'm a founder, maybe starting fresh, and I want to automate a core professional service right from day one, who am I spending on? Give us those agentic examples.
Okay, these agentic companies, they're highly specialized right now. You've got Crosby Legal at number 27. It acts like an agentic law firm focused on simple contracts, business formation, stuff like that. Then there's Cognition at number 34, often called the AI engineer. Supposedly can complete entire coding tasks autonomously.
I know we should probably clarify GTM for folks listening.
Oh, right. Good point. We also have 11X as number 37. They offer automated GTM, which is go-to-market employees. So handling things like email outreach, initial sales qualification. Then there's Serval at 39. That's an AI IT service desk, autonomously resolving basic employee tech issues.
An AI IT help desk? Huh. That's a really specific corporate pain point to target. Why there?
Well, think about it. The volume of requests is super high, right? And the solution paths for many common issues are often quite predictable. It's ripe for automation. And the final example is Alma, number 42. Specializes in AI-powered immigration law services.
Okay, so there's a pattern there.
Absolutely. These first 5 agents show a clear pattern. The initial targets for full substitution. Areas with high regulation, high repetition, or high cost. So legal, engineering, GTM, IT support. The spending confirms startups want to eliminate that repetitive administrative drag first.
And outside of those 5 agents, the rest of the vertical spend, it looks like it falls into more traditional software categories we'd recognize, just, supercharged with AI augmentation.
Exactly right. In customer service, you see leaders like Lorikeet at number 8 and Ada at 40. Sales and go-to-market, the augmentor version, includes Instantly at number 13. And in recruiting, HR, where AI helps filter candidates maybe, or automate interview scheduling, you have Micro One at 9 and MetaView at 19.
Operations, too.
Yep. Operations see spend on compliance automation, like Delve at number 11 and simplifying accounting with Combinely at 29.
Okay, let's drill down now into that second category you mentioned that went horizontal. Vibe coding. This is fascinating because it's where developer spend is going, and it shows a really strong enterprise commitment. But maybe stop and define it first. What exactly is vibe coding?
Right. So vibe coding is the term the report uses for AI-powered app building. Essentially, it lets engineers, and sometimes even non-engineers, generate functional applications, workflows, agents pretty rapidly, usually using natural language or maybe low-code interfaces. It's this move towards writing code based on a vibe or like a high-level intention, rather than getting bogged down in every single line of syntax.
Okay, makes sense. So who's capturing this developer spend then?
4 companies made the list here: Replit, Cursor, Lovable, and Emergent. But what's really fascinating is how the spending profile looks completely different from what maybe the consumer hype or social media chatter might suggest.
Tell us the data point, the one that really jumped out. Because Replit is the third highest product on the entire list, right?
Aye.
Just after OpenAI and Anthropic. That's huge.
It's incredible. Replit is number 3. And here's the real shocker for you. Replit generated roughly 15 times more revenue from these Mercury customers than Lovable did.
15 times.
15 times. Even though Lovable had actually ranked higher on a previous consumer top list, one based more on web traffic and consumer metrics.
Wow. Okay, 15 times more revenue. That gap is enormous. That tells you something profound about the difference in utility when actual budget money is on the line. So why? Why is Replit capturing so much developer budget over a tool like Lovable, which seems pretty popular?
It really comes down to function and, crucially, enterprise control. Lovable, which is great, don't get me wrong, it focuses more on rapid UI user interface and component generation. It probably has a lower barrier to entry for a pure consumer who just wants something flashy for the front end quickly.
So great for maybe prototyping or whipping up a quick demo.
Exactly. But Replit enables the development of, well, enterprise-grade, fully functional apps, agents, automations. Its agent can apparently run autonomously for hours. And critically, it provides built-in cloud services, things like integrated databases, secure authentication, combined with the enterprise controls that corporations need for deployment.
Security, deployment flexibility, data control.
Right. Startups need all of that, not just pretty front ends.
So the enterprise dollar, it's chasing that end-to-end functionality and control, not just the front-end speed. Which raises a critical thinking question, I guess, about the future of this whole vibe coding space.
It really does. Is the space going to fragment? Maybe dedicated platforms for different application types, one for web apps, another for agents? Or will it converge around a dominant enterprise winner, one that offers all the necessary controls, integrations, the whole package? The high spending on Replit certainly suggests that convergence around a powerful, enterprise-ready platform is a very strong possibility.
Okay, that brings us nicely to our final trend, which I think is incredibly relevant to you listening, whether you're a founder, an investor, or just working in tech. This velocity trend. Products moving super fast from consumer, prosumer, LO, enterprise.
Yeah, this might be the biggest shift compared to previous software eras. Nearly 70%, almost 3/4 of the companies on this list can be adopted first by an individual. Someone can just start using it, pull it into their team without needing a giant multi-year enterprise license signed off up front. AI has somehow made consumer products powerful enough, quickly enough, to serve really robust enterprise use cases almost simultaneously.
And that urgency for efficiency we talked about, it's like a massive suction cup, just pulling these tools into enterprise budgets way faster than we've ever seen before.
And we've got hard evidence for this transition baked into the data. 12 companies in this top 50 also showed up on a previous consumer top 100 list. And 11 of those 12 started primarily as individual consumer products. The speed of that transition is just breathtaking.
You can even see this velocity playing out with the absolute biggest players.
Oh, yeah, look at OpenAI. Last October, estimates were maybe 75% of their revenue came directly from consumers, hitting the API, using the chat interface. Recent estimates put that split much closer to 50-50 now, meaning their enterprise revenue has just exploded in less than a year.
Wow.
It really demonstrates that consumer adoption is now acting as the fastest possible on-ramp for significant enterprise spend.
So what does this accelerated velocity mean for building a company, deciding where to invest, maybe just understanding the market?
It means the old playbook, the slow ramp up. It's kind of dead. Excelling at product-led growth, PLG, and moving up market. Going from charging someone $20 a month to closing a $20,000 enterprise contract that's now a viable thing to achieve within the first year or two of a company's life.
That fast.
That fast. You should fully expect to see more companies that start consumer first, products you might love using personally, showing up on these enterprise spending lists very, very quickly.
Okay, let's quickly zoom out then, connect the spending data back to the impact. The money seems to be confirming 3 big interconnected shifts happening in the startup economy right now. First, horizontal AI dominates the spend led by LLMs, creative tools, note takers. But the market isn't winner take all. There's room for multiple players serving specific needs.
Second, vertical AI is moving really aggressively, shifting from just simple human augmentation towards focusing on true agentic substitution. It's effectively letting these early-stage companies hire AI employees for specialized, often costly roles like legal or GTM.
And third, that velocity. The speed of movement from consumer adoption to enterprise spending is faster than any software wave we've seen before, making product-led growth absolutely the key strategy now for capturing budget.
Yeah, this data really confirms that startups are prioritizing efficiency, maybe over legacy hiring models in some areas. They are buying tools that automate core professional functions. It signals a pretty fundamental change in how resources are being allocated.
So, if the main driver of enterprise AI adoption is how fast and easy it is for individuals to pull consumer tools into their work, and if these agentic startups are starting to replace functions like legal and engineering, it leaves us with a final provocative thought. We've seen 5 agents already tackling specific, repetitive professional services on this list: legal, engineering, GTM, IT, immigration. What previously specialized human role, one that's currently absent from this list, do you think is most likely to be monetized as an end-to-end AI agent next?
Something to chew on. Keep exploring that substitution pattern.
We'll see you on the next deep dive.